Okay, I accidentally stopped the camera because I'm stupid. Okay, so I'm continuing. I got Dan Chant. He's dead, so he's sitting. The premise is the 10 characters that are going, and then 10 characters that aren't allowed to go. This character, these are the people that are waiting outside my house, um, like waiting to come inside. They are not. Um, they're not allowed in. They got like the memo that they were allowed to come, or they like assumed wrong or something. They are not allowed inside. So outside, number one is Dan Chant. He is dead. He's like that. He's and in his hand is the flash drive disc thingy that he gives to Chris in RE5. But he has it now and he's dead. Okay. So number one is Dan Chant. Number two is Allison Ashford. I'm assuming it just says Allison, but we're gonna assume it's Ashford because I think that's who it is. Okay, I'm fine with that. She's kind of weird, anyways. Wait, no, that's the white girl from RE5. The blonde lady that comes. Okay, that's fine. Allison, before or after infection, I don't care. She's there, and if she's dead, she can be next to the chant. That's fine by me. Um, okay, Allison's not there. Okay, my next one was Ada Wong, but she's already in. Barry Burton. Oh man, is it because you have a complex relationship with your daughter? Awkward. Okay, Barry Burton is not allowed inside, unfortunately, which is it is unfortunate because I feel like he would like make a killer like pinwheel or something. You know what I mean? Like he'd make good pinwheels. Bruce McGivern. His face looks like a incorrectly AI generated photo. Like I bet if the photo showed us his hands, they'd be like melted together and like fucked up. Needless to say, I don't know who this bitch is. So I don't know why he thought he was invited to my house, but he's not. I don't even know how he got my address, which is a little concerning. All right. No, okay, I got Chris Redfield again, but unfortunately he is there. Ashley Graham. All right, so here's the thing. Ashley Graham from RE4, the original, because we're assuming the original because that's who shows up in the picture. Um, she is outside screaming her head off, wanting to be let inside, but unfortunately she is not allowed. Oh, bummer. Claire Redfield. Okay, so this is a little awkward because Chris is inside, but Claire is not. So I think this is specifically a photo of her from Revelations 2. So, okay. Claire Redfield is outside, also heavily confused because she thought she was invited. Her brother's inside, and then this leads to an argument inside at the table where Chris is like, the fuck? Why isn't why isn't Claire inside? And I'm like, I make the rules. I don't make the rules. She's not allowed in. She's not. Chris, sit down. Chris, sit down. She's not allowed in. She's not allowed in. Okay, sorry, Claire. Um, Brian Irons. I don't want that bitch any. Okay, so I like this. I like this a lot. Okay, so Brian Irons is outside with Claire Redfield. Both bitches are arguing like big time. Ashley is screaming her head off. Dan DeChant and Allison are both dead on the ground, and Barry Burton is like, "What the fuck? I have my pinwheels right here," and he's like ready to come inside and like set the food down, but like he's not able to come inside, so he can't do that. He's just sitting there with his pinwheels, and Bruce McGivern is like in the corner, like mutated because that's what his face looks like in the photo, and he's like poorly AI generated, and his hands are all melted together, so he can't help Barry carry anything. I mean, like Claire and Brian are busy. Ashley's screaming her head off. So Barry's like, "Dude, can you help me?" And then he's like, "No, I can't." That's my reasoning. Alexander Ashford. So what shows up is like a portrait picture. So I'm assuming this is like a dad or something. I don't know. Um, but what shows up in the picture is a portrait. So I'd like to think it's just the portrait of Alexander Ashford sitting outside in the rain, and it's just rain. It's pouring, and there's the paint is slowly just chipping away, just like melting and is melding in with the canvas, and it's humid outside too. And it's just doing numbers on the frame and the canvas and the acrylic. Albert Wesker. Now, this is unfortunate because my ideal Thanksgiving table would, in fact, include Wesker because I would love to have Alexander Albert Wesker and Chris Redfield in the same room just because I have my reasons, but this is unfortunate. Okay, so we have Albert Wesker outside, and I can see a good argument between oh my god, Albert Wesker and Barry Burton in the outdoors, and then Barry's like, Bruce, can you help me carry the pinwheels? Bruce can't help him carry the pinwheels, and he's like, Albert, I hate you, but can you help me carry the pinwheels? And Albert is like, no, I will not help you carry the pinwheels. He's got sunglasses on and shit. Yeah, Albert Wesker is outside with his fucking prescription sunglasses outside, and it's raining, it's cloudy, and he can't see anything. That's my headcanon. Who's our last person? I already got irons. Bitores Mendez. All right, so Mendez is my last one. And honestly, this is unfortunate because I really would like to switch this list and have these people coming to my Thanksgiving because I think that would be absolutely interesting. And Claire would be sitting next to me. She wouldn't have she can have a choice. But I'm so cool that she would want to sit next to me anyways. So people who are invited to my Thanksgiving and are coming, they're not allowed to not come. We have Chris Redfield, Carlos Oliveira, Adam Binford, Annette Birkin, Dave Johnson, Alyssa Ashcroft, Cindy Lennox, Art Thompson, Clive R. O'Brien, and Ada Wong. And people who are not allowed to come to my Thanksgiving. They are outside of my house waiting to come in the pouring rain. We have Dan DeChant, Allison, Barry Burton, Bruce McGivern, Ashley Graham, Claire Redfield, Brian Irons, Alexander Ashford, Albert Wesker, and Bitores Mendez. Now, what's happening at my Thanksgiving, right? We have a beautiful elongated rectangular table. It's got wonderful tablecloth and just all the good foods, okay? All the good foods except for pinwheels. Why? We'll get there. So we have this beautiful rectangular table, beautiful fucking tablecloth. At the head of the table is me, okay? I'm at the head of the table. But then at the other head of the table is Chris Redfield. He and I are in deep conversation. I'm asking him, how's Leon doing? Have you guys, I wasn't invited to the wedding. It's fine, but how are you guys doing? I'm getting a little bit of a life update. I couldn't go to the wedding, okay? I wasn't not invited. I couldn't go to the wedding. So we have Chris Redfield at the other head of the table in deep conversation with me. And then Carlos Oliveira, who is sitting next to, and my sister's probably sitting near me, so he is sitting next to my sister. He is not allowed to not sit next to my sister. He has to talk to her. So next we have Adam Binford, zombified and dead, lying across the table. We're not eating him. He is just there, just dead, lying on the table, face down, by the way. And then we have Annette Birkin, who is sitting at the kiddie table nearby. It's short, the chairs are short, her knees are kind of hitting the table, and shit. And she is getting all the kids' food, like we have oven French fries and shit, and oven chicken McNuggets, right? Not McNuggets, but you would wish they were. Then next we have Dave Johnson, who is also sitting next to Chris, okay? So Dave Johnson is sitting next to Chris. They're chit-chatting, reminiscing a little bit. That's good. And then 6 and 7, we have Alyssa Ashcroft and Cindy Lennox, who I'm assuming are sitting next to Chris Redfield because I feel like he knows them. He probably invited them. Someone invited them, but they're the plus ones, and I don't know who they are. So we're not super talkative, but we introduced ourselves a little bit, and they're sitting next to each other because they are the plus ones, and they don't know anyone else at the table. And they don't know the host, which is me. Number 8, we have Art Thompson, who is in fact sitting next to me, and he and I are in deep conversation as well. Number 9, we have Clive R. O'Brien, who is sitting at the kiddie table along with Annette Birkin. And his only way to get into the event is to give me his copy of Dante's Inferno. Now, if he passes the vibe check, he is allowed to get my copy of Dante's Inferno, and we trade. If not, I keep his copy and he gets nothing except for a good meal. And then at number 10, we have Ada Wong, who is sitting on my right. Okay, Ada Wong and I are chit-chatting. Art Thompson and I are chit-chatting. Chris Redfield and I are chit-chatting. Everyone's having a great time, and Ada Wong is probably pretty quiet. I feel like she wouldn't say anything, but when it got political, I feel like Ada Wong would still remain silent, but she would have opinions. Now, outside of my house, people who were not allowed at the Thanksgiving. We have Dan DeChant, who is lying dead along the wall with the flash drive, CD thing, whatever information in his hand, forgotten. We have Allison, the white girl from RE5, who gets infected, and she's wearing the dress, and she's got really blonde hair. She's also dead on the floor next to DeChant. Number 3, we have Barry Burton waiting outside with his hands full of pinwheels. Okay, they're in a box, don't worry, but they're in like a little Tupperware. But he's holding the pinwheels and no one's helping him. Number 4, Bruce McGivern. He has got his hands melded together, so he cannot help Barry carry anything despite Barry begging him. Number 5, we have Ashley Graham from the original RE4 screaming her head off and wanting to come inside, but she is not allowed inside. Also, I feel like RE4 Ashley Graham would be like saying like, oh, my dad's gonna get involved, my dad's gonna get involved, and I'm like, bitch, your dad's not gonna get involved, this is my house, this is a free country, and he's not the president anymore. Number 6 is Claire Redfield. Unfortunately, she got the wrong memo. She is not allowed inside, even though her brother is inside, which I do think would lead to a little bit of a commotion at the table within the house. But I will open the window and let her have some food if she'd like. She's not allowed at the Thanksgiving. She's not allowed in my house. But if she and Chris want to chit chat, they are allowed to. But Claire has to remain outside in the pouring rain. Number 7 is Brian Irons. Now, when he shows up thinking he's invited, he is not. He and Claire are going to get into a huge fight, and we will be betting money. The people who are invited to the Thanksgiving are betting money, and we are inside, and we're all betting that Claire's going to win. Number 8 is Alexander Ashford, a portrait of Alexander Ashford propped up against the wall. It's raining, it's pouring, and the paints and the colors are just blending together and melting. He's forgotten. Number 9 is Albert Wesker. When he shows up, Barry's like, hey, yo, what the fuck? And they try to reminisce a little bit. Like Barry is like, ah, man, like this was my higher up at one point, but he's angry at Albert Wesker, and reasonably so. So he's like, dude, we have our problems, just help me hold these pinwheels. And Albert refuses to help him hold the pinwheels. And number 10 is Batoris Mendez. I don't know why he thought he was invited, because that bitch is a little scary, but it is Batoris in his normal form. It's not Batoris in his like weird scorpion form. But I do think it would be fun to practice Spanish with him if he would let me. I would be like, hey, yo, man, like if you're cool with it, can we chat a little bit? Because I haven't used Spanish in a while. And he would be like, if he was cool, he would be like, yeah, sure. So that's it. That's my Thanksgiving.